it was all about the relationship between the Bush family, right, and the Bin Ladens, right, all about it, mate. Everything was referenced, sourced. And but the guy was like, mate, what's that you're reading? I showed him, he's like, you like the conspiracy theories, aye? And I looked at him, what? But, mate, every bit of information in here is, you can go and find that for yourself. It's not just some mad book that's been printed by the news of the world. We talk about Russia, we talk about China, right?
Aye.
You know the difference between hard power and soft power, right? So for any viewers that are watching that don't know, hard power is like, basically, you say anything about Keir Starmer, they'll physically boot your door in, drag you out, you'll get flung in the gulag and you'll not be seen for 10 years, right? Soft power is ripping your channel down, basically creating that, like
Cancel culture.
aye, right. So how's this even coming about? See any government, right, who's killing anybody who is innocent, right? And I'm not going to go in and go define innocent, not because to me, we should all know what fucking innocent means, right? That annoys me when somebody goes, what does innocent mean then, right? See if I was outside, bro, and there was a fucking white power march, and I saw him like, I'll say there was like free mind trying to batter somebody just because of his colour of his skin, mate. I'd back him up.
So, welcome to Social Sessions. Today we're joined with Tin Pail TV, Kris Macpherson, and today we're going to be trying to show like a healthy debate. I mean, me and Kriss are pals, and we're going to talk about politics and just the kind of lay of the land, you know, and the way things are. And me and Kriss don't agree on a lot of things, but we just want to have a healthy debate where we can kind of show that a healthy debate is still possible, and you can come to an agreement, and we can in some things, and this is really what I want to push. But so anyway, Kriss, how you doing?
I'm alright, mate. I'm a bit hanging today, but I was a bit of a rush to get here and that, but I'm glad we made it, mate. So cheers for having us back on.
I know, it's my back, man. I went to step in the motor, man. My back went, man. But no, so, I mean, firstly, what's your take the now? Just like, what's your kind of, just summarise, what's your take on politics the now? Like,
So I would say, right, I had no interest in politics whatsoever. I found it the most boring subject you could ever want to read about, right? Same with history, but when I was doing my degree in prison, the further into the degree I go, the more interested I became in politics and history. Now, I'm not sitting saying I'm a politics scholar or a history scholar, but I know enough to sit here and debate with you. And if academia was built on healthy debate, which there doesn't seem to be a lot of the now, then I think we need to kind of sit down and have a talk about it. So my take on politics now is really, some people would probably say I'm far right, centre right. I would say when I was in prison, you would have probably described me as a leftist, but what I noticed when I got out of prison was, see all the sources that I was getting, they were all written by leftists. So you think that's the only material out there. I'm no anywhere on a political spectrum, mate. You show me the situation, the political situation, and I'll tell you where I'm on that spectrum, whether it's far right, far left, centre right, centre left. I don't think I'm any one of the categories as a whole. So there's a lot of issues going on in the country now that obviously we were talking about that, and I was like, I'm not gonna lie to you, Sean, I was a bit I thought I'd put my foot in it, saying here, I want to go and talk about this. I was like, shit, I might be out my depth here, but you know what? Just roll with the punches in it.
no, well, I think obviously this is a wee precursor, because if like anybody's watching that does like that's got a kind of hang. I've got a few people in mind that I'm going to contact, but I want to do a panel and I do want you to be part of that. So it's a wee precursor for that, because I think we do need to get some sort of healthy debate back in. That's what politics is all about. I mean, I've got a politics degree, right? And see, looking at the political system now, and I don't even know what's happening.
Do you know what it is to me? Pure form organised crime.
It's to me, it's organised chaos, right? And it's similar. So
an
it's a similar thing,
idiocracy.
right? Aye, right, right. And I think it's like, I feel as if people can't push by their own governments, right?
Mhm.
Now, I'm not saying you don't hold your own government account, of course you do,
Mhm.
but it's as if people stop at that. It's
Mhm.
like at this moment in time, people want to blame Keir Starmer for all the kind of illegal immigration, right? If you think Keir Starmer's is an idiot, right? I think you're mad. Keir Starmer is ultra clever. He was like a huge, successful kind of lawyer. He was head of the
Head of the
Crown
CPS.
down in England, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you think that guy's an idiot and he's not calculated in what he's doing, then I think you need to look again. I think
You
he's
can be smart and be
he's
an
part
idiot, but look
of.
at me.
No, I agree with that. No, I know what you mean. No, but I don't think you are.
I don't mean an
but
idiot.
I mean,
What I mean is, like, you can make daft decisions, you can make wrong decisions, decisions that are not to the benefit of the greater good or whatever it is he's supposed to be doing. I don't for a minute think all the votes are down to him. This was happening before he even got into office. But to me, they're all culpable, bro. Every one of them.
Definitely.
Do you know what I mean? Are culpable, bro.
Do you not think it's strange that, I mean, this is what, like, when you, to me, it's manufactured, right? It's way above. If you think the snake's head is Keir Starmer, right? Then I think you need to relook at your situation here.
He's a snake seed in Britain, but
He's
he's not a global snake seed.
He's a puppet,
right?
He'll do what he's told, right? That's what, as far as I'm concerned, right? He's a puppet that will do what he's told. And I don't think you get into these positions. I think there's a lot of politicians, good politicians, who are unknowingly in a system that they don't really agree. That's why you need, like, you'll get backbenchers who'll call out things and stuff like that, but you never see it. Like, you never hear about it. You never hear about these guys that they call out these things. Do you know what I mean? Or call out globalist agendas. And if they call them out, they get laughed at. The government will laugh at them and say, "Oh, you're one of these conspiracy theorists," whatever. Right? Now you're getting more and more people talking about conspiracy theories, no becoming conspiracies now. And I think the word conspiracy
has
been hijacked. I think it's been hijacked. It's been used as a
tinfoil hat material. To me, there's no such. See, this is what I hate. I know this is a bit of a tangent, right? I was walking down the route in Kilmarnock Prison, and I had a book under me called House of Bush, House of Sod, right? Which was it was written by Craig Unger. He was a journalist for the Washington Post or some shit, right? And it was all about the relationship between the Bush family, right? And the Bin Ladens, right? All about it, mate. Everything was referenced, sourced. And a guy was like, "Mate, what's that you're reading?" I showed me. He's like, "You like the conspiracy theories, aye?" And I looked at him, what? Like, mate, every bit of information in here is, you can go and find that for yourself. It's not just some mad book that's been printed by the news of the world, serialised, fucking Bible John, whatever, or see, like, the mad books in. I always look at a book, see if I'm going to read a book now, I look at the end to see if there's references. See if there's no references, I'll probably not even buy it, mate.
Because obviously I know you want it backed up with sources and stuff, and I think, I mean, take that.
Not even backed up, just want to see where you're getting your info.
No, exactly. And I think if you take that as a topic, like the Bin Laden thing and the Bush thing, I mean, is it possible that these two families grew up and one of their sons went rogue and attacked another state? Of course it is. Is it possible that Bin Laden was
I think there's a lot more to it, we know, but it's one of the ones that just does it. There's that many doors that's let we'll just end up talking right all day, man.
That's a podcast in itself.
Definitely.
But I think to me, what's happening, right, is like there's an agenda getting played out, globalist agenda, like, and it's whether it's the World Economic Forum, the World Health Organization, all these kind of big NGOs, huge, probably, and let's be honest, governments are, like, take COVID for example. Governments were looking to the World Health Organization for, like, for guidance. Do you know what I mean? They were looking for them. And it was the guidance that they were given. And now if you look at the World Health Organization, Bill Gates has got a massive amount of money in that.
Started about him, man.
He's a horrible guy, right?
Mate, I'd probably slap the glasses right off him, man, if I seen him. I'm not even kidding, mate.
No, he's I know. But what I'm saying is the money that he's got, and in the World Health Organization, and this is people.
He's
people
not
have
even. He's
called
not
him
even
out.
a leader. He's probably got more influence than probably half the governments on the planet, mate, put together.
Aye, and there was, I don't know what the guy's name for the World Health Organization, but there was a guy called him out quite high up. Said this guy like has got far
pure
too much
charlatan.
influence
Aye,
on
he's a
what's
pure
happening in here. Do
charlatan,
you know what I
man.
mean? Because if you look back at the kind of like the vaccines and stuff like that,
Do you take that?
aye,
Fuck's sake, man.
I know. And the reason I did take it, do you know what? I feel as if I get kind of my partner was pregnant at the time,
right, aye.
and they basically said, and I had a lot of people kind of saying to me, like, people who love me, it's not, listen, that is what it is. Like, people who love me trying to say, look, if anything happens to that way, and
You're
you'll
hurt.
never love yourself,
Aye.
and if and
It was
blah, blah.
that was the biggest psyop of our generation, I think, that COVID, mate. Honestly, man.
Aye. I mean, you need to watch what you're saying on here, right?
All right.
No, just you know, it's to try and keep it YouTube friendly, right? Because it's
all right. Would you hang me for that? I cut that out if you want, mate.
No, it's. I think I don't know. This is the thing, right?
Just a
I'll tell you who it is.
kind
I
of
don't know if
personal.
do you know John Watt, who does the Bring the Noise podcast.
I'm not sure, mate. I hardly watch. I'm not gonna lie.
John
I hardly
Watt,
watch podcasts, man.
He's like does vaccine injured, not he's like vaccine injured, and he does a lot of kind of work for that, and his channel's been ripped down a million times. You know what I mean? And he's had some of the biggest names like that Doctor
Mahone.
Can't remember his name, but you know his face if you've seen him. Who's a kind of leading guy in like the helping the vaccine injured and stuff like that. Who is I'll try and find his name. Doctor Matt. It's a good podcast. But his channel's been ripped down
Right. I didn't know that, bro.
His TikToks and that. Do you know what I mean? I think he had like over 100,000 followers at one time that get ripped down, and then you need to build that all back up. But I think I think when I had the only podcast I've ever had.
Do you think that's an attack on free speech?
Aye.
So how is that? So we talk about Russia, we talk about China, right?
Aye.
You know the difference between hard power and soft power, right? So for any viewers that are watching that don't know, hard power is like basically you say anything about Keir Starmer, they'll physically boot your door in, drag you out, you'll get flung in the gulag and you'll not be seen for 10 years, right? Soft power is ripping your channel down, basically creating a like
cancel culture.
Aye, right. So how's this even coming about?
So what they say is they say like with their argument would be that we're spreading and
misinformation
and it's
the government do
dangerous.
it every day, mate.
So the only podcast I've ever had ripped down, I'm not even going to say that it was about taking. Joe Rogan was talking about it on his podcast. It's a medication. Like I don't even know. I don't even think it is a medication. I don't know what it is. It's something that you drink and it's supposed to help.
All right, I know what you're talking about.
I know nothing about it. I suppose I'm not going to go into it, and I'm no
right. But you make a video it and then get took down.
Aye, so I made a video with a boy who was talking about it, and it got ripped down, and I had to sit a test on YouTube. They made me sit a test on YouTube. Aye, they made me. I actually had to sit a test on YouTube to show that I knew what the guidelines were. I was actually I was like, hell, man. Right, so I had that strike, and then that strike was to August, and if I get another strike, then I lose my channel.
You're off it.
But anyway, I mean that's the dangers of talking about things when you know these things when you're talking about. But where do you think, if you were to say, who is it you think that's running the world? Like, where do you think the main kind of?
Well, see, to be honest, right, Sean, right, I'm into reading, as you know, about a lot of funny countries, right. I don't mean funny like they make me laugh. But see, when I'm sitting going that macro level, like how the international relations and all that, look at what's happening on my own streets, my own country, and I'm sitting going, maybe I need to stop looking up there and start looking down here. But to answer your question, I think but the question was, who do I think runs the world? Is that what you say there?
Where do you think is like
The power?
the power lies?
Uh,
Think
your Bilderbergs, your Clintons, the Communist Party of China, Putin, Davos, any of these big kind of meetings where it's all the head of the whatever, but the multiple banking system, the head of this, head of that, your von der Leyen's and all that, head of the World Economic Forum and all that. See all these people, head of the European banks and all that. All these nutters all sitting down. This is high office. They're all tied in, mate. It's like a big spider's web, man.
That's where
we're all the flies, know what I mean?
That's where I believe power lies. I believe power lies in unelected.
Aye. Well, do you know what? Do you know what a very good friend of mine says? I hope he's watching this. He says to me, and he was involved in a lot of stuff, and he says, these leaders are selected, they're not elected. When was the last time we actually, and I'm asking this because it's to my knowledge, we don't have one. When was the last time we elected the Scottish First Minister? When was the last time we elected a UK Prime Minister? I'm asking you that question because to my current knowledge, we've not done it in about 10 years, Mel.
Aye.
So tell me how that is.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? So
Aye.
that what does that tell you?
So what do you mean? Because obviously when you vote for Labour, you know you're voting for Keir Starmer, but do you know what I'm talking about?
But they're not passing the seat. So when we went for, so I could go as far back as, right, I'll go for Tony Blair, right?
I understand, like,
so he was elected because it was all Conservatives and they were all,
a Scottish guy
right?
Come in after him.
Then it was Gordon Brown, but he wasn't elected. He just got a shot at the seat.
Right.
And then David Cameron had a chance of getting it, but he needed Nick Clegg's vote.
That's right.
Right, to get him in because he couldn't get past the threshold. So I'm sitting going, like, what's the script here? How can you just like that Hamza Yusuf and all? How can you just take that seat? Or Nicola Sturgeon's leaving, you have it. No, call an election. Ask the people what they want. See if they use this word democracy. Americans, right? See, when I hear that, this is an attack on democracy. What, mate? Right? Don't get me wrong, right? I like a lot of the stuff for Yank Stoneford, what they've done and all that. But it's the same with every country, bro. There's a lot of shit I don't agree with, right? But when you're sitting thinking to yourself, like, democracy, right? And one thing I'll say to you know is, right, so see the government, Starmer, right? Russia, right? Russia's a threat, Russia this, Russia that. No, Russia's a threat to you, you had it. No a threat to me. I'm down here living. I'm saving up to get to Skid Row, mate. So I'm down here. You, the guy before you and the guy after you are letting in all these undocumented, unverified people who I guarantee you there'll be murderers amongst them. There'll be every kind of criminal you can think of. No everybody, right? There'll be some people just going, here, I'm chance, mama, it's a free holiday, see how far I get, right? I don't think that's all down to him. But what I want to say is, Russia's a threat to him. They both something a threat to him. He just phones somebody who lets all him into the X, Y, and Z, right? Now that is my issue. My issue is no way people who are coming here to seek a better life, mate. I've got Albanian pals, I've got Pakistani pals, Italian, whatever, right? Grew up, mate, like, kind of on the spectrum with flags, like, you could put a big map up, if you put a big page of flags on here, and I could probably tell you about 80% of them. Love learning about other cultures. Mate, I walk about that town with my wee boy, right? And see when I hear somebody talking in Spanish or Italian or any language that I'm familiar with, if I even know one word, I go and talk to them, mate. Right? So see this, try to brand people far right, and Keir Starmer's famous for it, mate. Anything that's getting said, you're far right. And to be fair, there is a lot of people out there who are far right. There is a lot of people who are far left. To me, see far left and far right, they're two sides of the same coin, mate. One's brainwashed, one's brain dead, but I don't know what one's what. Do you get what I'm talking about? So you're going to have agitators on both sides. It's like, I was at that march yesterday, right, filming it, and I accidentally walked into the Celtic one, right, and the Palestine one, but they were standing on either side of the street. They weren't even standing together. So I sell it.
Did the Polish matches together?
I'll get into that, right? So I've walked up with my pal, right, and I'm like, yeah, we better get to fuck, man. I was like, all the Palestine mob were on one side, mate. It looked like a Hamas rally, right? Death to this and death to that and da. How's that free speech, right? So this Celtic fan walks up to you, right? And I get recognised like 3 times walking in. I'm like, is happy already? I get dead embarrassed, right? So it's like, watch our podcast, mate, brilliant stuff and all that and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what you up here for? And he's like, for this. And I says, mate, can I ask you a question? He says, what? I says, see if Republicans and loyalists in Belfast can join forces to protect our women and children, how can me and you know that?
Aye.
Know what I mean? I says, I'm not up there shouting, I'm not about, see all that, God save the king and
Aye.
fuck the Pope and all that. I'm not about all that, bro. I'm not about all that, right? I support Rangers, that's as far as that goes, mate, right? So, to me, I'm here because, I said this on my channel, I know, I wasn't want to go because there was somebody for UKIP there with a banner, right? A big UKIP banner away up the front, right?
Nick.
Can't mind the guy's name. My pal sent me you know who I've talked about, no what to say his name. He sent me a photo like, who's that? I'm like, I don't fucking know. He's like, it's him at Singme and that. I says, I didn't know who he was. He's a mad fitness thing. So I was staying outside the Polish cordon. So the Polish had everybody like hemmed in, right? But I've bailed for the Celtic Palestine man, because I thought I'm going to end up getting attacked down here or something. Whatever happens, know what I mean? So I went up to the other one and started filming. And mate, it was so, there was no atmosphere. I didn't feel in fear. I didn't feel like I was going to get lettered. Somebody was going to, damn, what you doing? Nothing at all. I was just standing, like outside the Polish cordons who had everybody marching. So I'm just walking about filming and all that, and I'm like, how come they're all down there going after that? No, I don't know about what the Celtic fans were doing, but what happened was, my pal, he get caught up in it all, and he's phoning me, mate, he was driving me potty, mate, I don't mind saying it, right, he was driving me nuts, where are you, and then I can't like, you walk up Queen Street, turn right, man, how many times I need to fucking tell you? He was driving me mental, mate. So anyway, he's like, oh, this mad Palestine mum came up fucking trying to hit us and shout, you stop filming, you're not allowed to film. Like, you're allowed to film in a public place, mate. It's your problem, right? So anyway, he's like, it's all kicked off down here, and I just seen hundreds of Polish running down there. So they're meant to be the peaceful ones, and we're
why walk two yous even beside each other?
Who
me
and him?
Walks? No, but why walk?
No. Like, they weren't beside each other. So we walked in. So the Palestine and the Celtic one was away down at. So the UKIP one was at George Square, but up that street. I can't mind, you come up Queen Street, turn right on the George Square, and it was away up there outside this hotel, can't mind the name of it. But the Palestine Celtic one was away like forced. It was away on the other side, mate. They weren't near each other.
Aye.
But the Celtic fans were on one side of the street, and all the Palestine mob on the other side of the street. And I'm like, that's mental. They're not even standing in amongst each other.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? And the atmosphere, no half the Celtic fans, mate. Half them, I was like, I'm getting to fuck for here. But see the Celtic fans, I wanted to bush just in case they were like, you're at half these supports Rangers. Get 'em. Know what I mean? So I was like, I'm boosting for you. I was just wanting to go up and get a bit of content, but also say my piece, mate. I'm not here, but what about? I was saying I'm not here because I hate any country or whatever. I'm here because there's genuine people out there going to work 9 to 5, women, Waynes, who are coming. They're scared to let their daughters get in taxis and all that now because of the amount of attacks. And before anybody says, but there's white rapists, not aye, but they're citizens, they were born here, the whole family were, we meant today, bro, apart from throw them in jail. If you come here on a boat, we don't know who you are, and you're getting a mobile phone handed to you walking in here, you're getting this, you're getting that, put up and all that, and then you're making claims that you're from a war-torn country, which to me, a lot of them are abusing. There's 2 people in my scheme, right? One of them, he's no Ukrainian, I'll tell you that much. Says to me, where are you from, pal? Says Ukraine. And I just started laughing, right? Because I knew it wasn't.
Right.
So see about 3 months later, I walked past him and said, Aap TK. And he said, Metikun. So that's Pakistani. That's how you doing? And he says, I'm alright. And I'm like, ah. And there was another guy, right, told me he was Ukrainian.
Aye.
But he looked like you ever seen people from like Kazakhstan
Aye,
and all that? They kind
aye.
of look like the
Aye, like
li- or-
Khabib and that. Like that
aye,
kinda
the
look,
kind
aye.
of they've got the kind of the eye shape, but
Aye.
they're, you know they're no for like China and all
Aye.
that, right? And I'm like that. It's like I was letting him in my auntie's building. I was like, all right, mate. So I like talking to foreigners, bro.
Aye.
And I know he's staying in a council house, so
Aye.
like, what's happening? He started talking to me, and I knew I was like the accent. It's like, where are you from? And he done that. Ukraine. I thought, they gave a read deeper Ruski, and he done that. No, Ruski. Goodbye. Walked away, and ever since then, he walks by me with his head down, and I'm like, what's the big problem with asking you, like, if you're really fair here, why would you not be like, no, I'm from Ukraine, bro, but I'm out here, man, blah, 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 blah. Like,
Aye.
Mate, it is causing a lot of fear, and see what's annoying me, I know, see in the papers, and all these news channels, mate, right, what are they all saying? The summer of unrest is looming, riots on the cards, it's like they're whipping everybody up to all just start killing each other, mate.
But that I think so this is my take, right? I think I would see if I was to say, like, I would say that I'm a moderate left wing socialist, right? So I believe in a strong welfare system, right? I believe in a strong state school, right? I believe in a strong NHS,
right?
I believe that we need to look after our most vulnerable. I believe in the benefit system for people that need it.
Aye.
I believe in looking after the working class, right?
Aye.
So see my money, I'm willing to pay my tax money into helping a guy down the street who's got PTSD, a soldier or whatever, or somebody who was born with autism, or it's like anything, guy for the jail that can't work.
But are you willing to pay for somebody that's came here on a dinghy, probably done about 3 murders before he got here, and then he's just went and raped some lass out in the town centre?
But this is, I'm all for.
Because I think, see, the NHS is crumbling, mate. I think that's where all the money's gone.
No, but what my point was is, right, it's just, that's what I would.
I agree with that. I agree with that, bro.
Right, I'm all about working class. So a working class, lower class people, that's where my love lies, right? For the people, right?
No, I get that.
And I know people that are in that I was in jail with. That I know people that don't have the potential to work, right? That don't have the potential to go out and get a job. That are never going to be able to hold a job down, right?
100%, bro.
I don't think you should just take their benefits after them, right? Because they can't, because they were traumatized as a young boy growing up, or they've got drug addiction problems. I want to look after the people, right? That's my foundation, right? Do I believe that you need a better immigration system? Of course, right? We need to vet people coming through. We need that. Right? No, this is a question then, right? Is why, right? Why is this happening? This is what I would say about it. I would say the reason they're doing it is it's a manufactured. So they're manufacturing people coming over, right? So that we all get riled up, right? What they've done is, you see what you were saying earlier? Take a look at the Lib Dems, right? Lib Dems, Nick Clegg done a deal, right? This is how far back it goes. People don't realise how long these
this is the pigeons coming home to roost.
This has been going on for
I know.
millennium. Like it's been going on for
sitting there like that. Great Scott.
Like it's honestly maybe not a millennium, right? But it's been definitely centuries. Like this plan's been brewing, right?
Man.
And what's happening is you've got, so the Lib Dems, right? So in our country, when I was growing up, there was the Liberal Dems, the Conservatives, and Labour. They were like our main three parties, right? Nobody would even look at them now, right? So see the Lib Dems, Nick Clegg made a crazy deal with Cameron at the time, which eradicated the Lib Dems, right? Now, anybody who was ended knew that was going to happen, right? So then David Cameron came in. Obviously, after David Cameron was a bunch of idiots, right? David Cameron, as an it to me,
he's an bottom,
right? But he's probably the last politician that are.
So you know they hang me for foreign affairs. No,
but you know, because he's in the House of Lords, he doesn't need to answer any questions.
House of Lords should be abolished, mate.
So he's in the House of Lords. He was the Foreign Secretary, but because he's in the House of Lords, he doesn't need to answer any questions. Right, to anything about foreign policy. Right?
Just tell you to jog
genius,
on.
Right? Anyway, so this is I think where I was going with this was I believe that it's a manufactured thing. I don't believe, right, in coincidences, right? So I don't believe that France, America, Britain, Germany, all your kind of big main Western countries, right, are all having the same problem at the exact same time, right? I don't
Right.
believe that. That's just that's for me. That's too much. It's no.
So
It's a huge.
what do you think so they're moving chess pieces about a board.
Yes,
What's
right.
the end game?
The end game is right. So this is what I'm going to get to. Right, this is where I see it going. Right, and I might be proved wrong, but this is where I see it going. We're going to have these many rallies and people all hanging. The working class are so divided, right? They're so divided, and that's see if you
100%,
read Machiavelli and all that. You read all it, like the great geniuses of manipulation, right?
I was telling my pal about book the other day.
It's like a fucking. It's like a honestly.
Read
It's like
them
it's like a
three
manual.
strategies of war, 40 laws of power. They're better, mate.
I know. I'm actually going to read them, but
I've got them now. It's me.
when
I
you
read
read the
them as
Prince,
well.
because I know the Prince is basically just a letter to
Aye.
Medici. You know what I mean?
Medici, aye.
If you read it the way he talks about it, and the way he talks about like how you need to divide
Divide and
never let
conquer,
them
mate.
unite,
Oldest
you know
rule in
that,
the
right?
book.
So the new were so divided, right? Like on so many fronts, like whether you're right wing, left wing, all these things. Now, see, to me, I just go see this. There should be two questions we should all be asking,
Right.
right? Are you working class, and do you think we're getting fucked off billionaires? That should be it. See the rest of it. Don't buy into it. The rest of it's division tactics.
Right.
Oh, it's division tactics.
Well, mate. That was the whole point of me wanting to do this with you, because see when you said about socialism there, right?
Aye.
And this is my fault, and I admit to that. I thought communism and socialism were the same thing, mate. And that's how see if I ever heard socialism, mate. I'm just like, man, what?
I think a lot.
But I went and
Aye.
and I thought, no, here, hold on now. They'll know exactly the same thing here.
Aye.
So that's my
I'm a moderate socialist, right? So I believe that, say you...
I wouldn't even say I was working class, bro. I say I'm underclass. I don't even work. So how... do you know what I'm talking about? So
I'm like, I'm certainly no like...
But do you know what, bro? I'm no better. I don't sit and go, poor me. I just go, I fucked my life up, mate. So do you know what? I'm breaking the cycle with my son so that he understands what a work ethic is. He understands that carrying knives is bullshit. He understands looking up to...
allowing people and stuff.
you know what I mean, right? Got the jails a badge of honour, not, but I totally looked at it like that because I had no direction, I had no father figure, and I had no positive male role models, I want to say, you know what I mean?
But you have done that, but...
So I had to learn how to be a fucking person.
But you've done that, and I think, just to go back to the kind of, like, taking it back, so you asked me about what I think the end game is, right?
Aye.
I think what you're watching now is a massive kind of division to get us all divided, right? And what we're going to start seeing is we're going to start seeing pockets of unrest, right? We're going to start seeing huge pockets of unrest where people are going to start fighting over it, right? People are going to start getting to the stage.
But that's the division. What's the conquer?
Right. So the conquer is right. They will come in and say, look, no, nobody's going to vote. That what I was going to say is, Labour, Keir Starmer's destroyed the Labour Party. Nobody would ever vote.
Aye, 100%. No, even that. Just when I found out what he'd done with the Savile case,
right?
mate.
Aye, but Boris Nat destroyed the Tories, right? So who are you left with? You're only left with reform, right?
I wouldn't even vote. I'm voting for nobody, mate, because you know what? Do you know what, mate?
Population,
right? They'll come in and get rid. Mate, do you honestly think they're going to get rid of any votes? Do you honestly think mate? It's like Obama says he was going to close Guantanamo. See, as soon as he get in, mate, there's what you said. You're just sitting in that chair. It's your turn. There's hundreds of people under you that can checks and balances. You're shutting nothing, mate. You're no doing this. You're no doing that.
No, definitely. And I think, see, like.
Then we're all sitting there like, the fuck we vote for him for?
See when reform come into power, right? This is what I would say. The people are that raging with the mass immigration thing, right? That people will vote.
Yeah, it's
reform,
a protest vote.
Right?
Aye,
so it's a protest vote. Now, see when you look at their manifesto, it's
Did you read
privatise
it?
this,
Have you read
privatise that. See working class people that are watching this.
Aye.
See people that are on benefits.
Aye.
You get two shots at going for a job. So say they come to you and say you want to work at McDonald's and you say no. You want to work in Burger King, you say no. You're off benefits, right? You're not getting it. So if you're no, so this is where
So they're just seeing one bit they're reading one page out of a 200-page book and going, no, what, vote for them.
Vote for them, they'll get rid of the immigrants.
That's why I don't vote.
So what, it's the Reform's manifesto, it's basically it's a fault.
It's attacking the working class.
Aye, right. So it's taking all the rights away. Plus, they're going to bring in digital IDs. That's coming in, right? So what they'll say is we need digital IDs to get rid of these foreigners, right? We need these aliens. We need. So I think the end game is to get us all digital ID'd up. Cryptocurrency. They're going to start saying we need this. So they're going to use that, right? So it's paperless money, right? There'll be a massive attack on the benefit system because everybody's moaning about immigrants being on benefits, right? So they'll be able to change the benefit system on the back of that. So massive attack on the working class and the lower classes, right? Massive attack on that. And how about is it?
No, when I opened it, it was going to burst everywhere, so I just left it.
Right,
it's all right, bro. It's all right, mate. I'm no made of sugar.
So I think it's a massive attack on the working class. This thing, right? And I think it's done so ingenious, right? And I don't, because people call me, oh, you're a left wing. Like, I think most people, who, if you were actually to look, would be a moderate socialist. A moderate socialist is basically just, you believe in what, like, a welfare system that looks after everybody. Because I'm one paycheck. I've been on benefits, right? So like 100%. I can we need it. So I think we need that. The schools, obviously, like the education system. But see, even going one step further, see if you were paying your taxes and we weren't spending billions of pounds on ammunition for war, billions of pounds into the military industrial complex. Foreign
military aid, I should have said. Foreign military aid we're getting to Middle East is a joke, man.
Oh, it's crazy, right? It's crazy. Like, obviously, you want to help countries that are I don't mind that. Like, obviously, I don't. But again,
not at our own citizens' expense. But
no, you need to fix your own country, right? But we're that fucked. Like, see, look,
this country's on its arse, mate.
I just don't even know where we're going. It's hard to imagine where we're going, and I think.
But let me ask you a question, right? See people like me and you. How do we even begin? This is what I'm sick of saying to my pal. He's always going on about the Illuminati, the Rothschild, this and that, and I'm like, mate, how is that? Obviously, it affects me somewhere down the line. I don't know how, but I know it will if they decide to fucking do whatever, right? But how am I meant to fight that war, bro? I can only fight a war on the ground, right? So if you want to look at it, right, like, I don't mean that like I'm in the army. What I mean to say is, when my community's living in fear, right? When people I know are living in fear, been up that four corners at night, right? Looks like Fallujah, mate, right? There's people being accosted in the street. There's people taking photos of children in play parks and nothing's been done about it, bro. This happened 2 seconds from my front door, right? The guy was caught red-handed, mate, right? The woman was taking photos of him, recording him doing it surreptitiously. He didn't even know she was there. And then she's up like, "What you doing filming the Wayne's apart?" "Oh, I didn't know, sorry, I delete. I was like, how did you know just put your foot right in his face, man? But what happened was the police turned up and says, it's not a crime. And I'm like, are you kidding me, mate? Are you kidding me? It's not a crime to film Wayne's in a swing park. He was clearly caught doing it. And that's just a grain of sand. That's a grain of sand, bro. And look at, see to go on about the thing in Epping, right? I know, right? Some guy from Somalia was here a week, went out and I don't know if he done one naughty crime or he done a few, but what pissed me off was, see when I looked at all the news, mate, because I'm not going to lie, I can't even watch the news, bro, because I just want to punch fuck out my telly, mate, because they're all nuts, right? Aye. But what I'm trying to say is, every one of these news channels was going on about the protesters. They all lost sight that this fucking lassie get raped, right? And then the police are bussing in protesters and then admitting it. what the fuck are you playing at? You're trying to cause this.
Aye.
There's concerned parents. What, do you get what I'm saying? What's the police are meant to be objective, impartial, but they're bussing in people like that here, get down there and starting antagonising them. Like, I'm like, what the fuck's going on in this
See what
country,
I always
man?
say, right? I always say, you always need to say why, right? Why,
Mhm.
right? See, like, I try not to let yourself get heated, right? See if you. See
I
if
know,
the-
but it's easier said than done when it
It's
comes to
easier said
women and
than
Wayne's, bro.
but
Know what I mean?
Listen, I've got 2 wee boys, right?
Aye.
And I've like, what I'm saying is to think. To
Try and take the emotion out of it,
You need
basically.
to.
I
You
know,
need
I
to,
know.
right?
You're
You
right,
need
mate.
to.
I know,
And
you're right, mate.
I'm just saying it as it is, mate. I'm no I'm no
No,
supporter.
no, I know,
of it.
no, I know.
saying that.
I'm not
But
saying
what
that
I'm
to you,
saying
bro. I'm
is,
just saying.
for any is to think, and if you want to unite together,
Mhm.
you need to take emotion out of it.
Aye, do you
Right?
know what? I agree with you, bro.
And I mean that in the nicest possible way, because you've got to get people. I'll get attacked for this.
I know,
for saying
no,
this, right?
I know. That's
But
how I was like, shit, am I doing the right thing even coming on talking about this?
But-
But do you know what? It's time for us to speak up, mate.
you need to unite, right?
Mhm.
And you need to unite on foundations that we can all agree on, right?
Mhm.
Now, I see what I like. Take Palestine for example, right?
Mhm.
I think it's fucking outrageous what's happening in Palestine,
Mhm.
right? It's horrible. It's disgusting. I hate watching it, right?
Mhm.
It's fucking horrible. But it's divisive in this country
Oh,
now, right?
100%.
It's divisive. No, I'm not saying anybody who's, because I
Aye,
know
aye,
there's
aye.
people doing it
Aye,
and people rallying and people talking about it. Talk about it. But when you want to unite your own working class, you need to unite on stuff that you're going to agree on.
Mhm.
You can't start bringing in, let's agree on that, and if you want to unite, you need to go, what is it we can find a foundation on? Because that's what they're scared of.
Can I ask you one question, Matt? How's there no marches up the town for Yemen? The poorest Arab country on the planet. How's there no marches for Yemen? How's there no marches for the Druze? Like, I'm not
Because
saying.
I don't think you're getting
See
to see
half
it
these
in real
people-
time. I don't. You're
Mate,
getting to
the
see-
Yemen war's been going on for before
Oh, the
they all
Saudi-
kicked off.
But who's doing that? The Saudis?
How
Arabia.
did that
Saudi
kick off
Arabia have
again?
absolutely.
Aye, the Houthis.
But the Saudi Arabia have done like they
Aye.
get a pass for
Aye,
everything
they're
because
aye,
who they are.
aye,
You know
aye,
what I
aye.
mean? Like
Custodians of the
like,
religion.
so, like you look at, I mean, it's like Israel, right? People say I've been caught on X and that you're an anti-Semitic. I hate that, right? I'm not. Gabor Mate, I love
Aye,
Gabor
aye,
Mate,
aye.
right? Gabor Mate is one of my favourite people. I despise the Israeli government.
Mhm.
I despise Netanyahu, right? I think I really do think he's a demon, man. I think the guy's a fucking monster.
Mhm.
But I also think like there's other like I also think like there's loads of people that I think like
But
I
let
think
me
I
ask-
don't like Khomeini, right? I don't like the
Aye,
Iranian.
aye, aye.
I think what he's doing, he's not done nothing wrong to me. You know, he's not done anything. He's just kind of like.
Did you know what Iran was like? Sorry to even go here,
Aye,
mate,
I
because
seen
I
it.
wasn't
I
even
did
wanting
see
to go
it.
here.
I did see
Did
it.
you know what Iran was
Aye.
like before he took power?
Aye, aye.
They spoke French and everything.
Mate, I don't agree with having
what I
a
mean?
religious state. I don't.
No,
But
But do you know, think that we can? This is one thing I wanted to kind of broach in on. It's kind of similar. So, do you know think that? So we live in a, you might call it a democracy, but it's free speech. You know. Do you think criticism of Israel equals anti-Semitism?
no,
So by the same extension, criticism of Islam does not equal Islamophobia. And the reason that I'm bringing that up to you is because I get pulled up for a social media post in one of my clubs, right? And it came across as Islamophobic, right? And I'm going to tell you the new. I was like that. I would agree with you there. But this is why I think that. I says, you know what, I take full responsibility. That was in bad taste, or I wasn't thinking, or I just thought, fuck it, post that. That's on a whim. I posted it on a whim, right? But he asked me, where do you get, he's like, you're following people who follow Tommy Robinson. I says, do I follow Tommy Robinson? He don't know. I says, well, what's the issue there? But you're mixing me far right, whatever it was, right? So he says, I says, listen, mate, I says, I read up on this academically. I'm not sitting reading fucking ladybird books and that, what's your sources? And I love it when somebody says that to me, man. I just start 2 minutes, mate, and I took 78 photos of shit in my house, sent it to him, mate. His phone must have blew up because he never get back to me for about a week after that.
aye.
And then he's like, I think you've just went down a rabbit hole. And I says, no, listen, mate. I says, look at the global terrorist index, right? Over 95% of the terrorist attacks, in fact, it's more than 95%, it's more like 98%. The global terrorism index were all jihadists.
Mm-hmm.
The MI5 watch list, 95% jihadists. So how can you come to my country, right, and tell me you're here to kill me, you're here to do this, you're here to do that, I'm an unbeliever, whatever it is. Not every Muslim's like that. There's probably more peaceful Muslims than there is non-peaceful.
By far.
But see, the non-peaceful ones, they're the most powerful, 100%.
So what do you think's more dangerous, right? I'll ask you this question, because I think any extremism, right, and I
100%,
mean that, like,
100%.
I hate any extremism, right?
So they are.
But especially in religion, because it's so divisive, right?
Aye, 100%.
But what do you think's more dangerous, right? The jihadis, right, on the street, right, that have... How many terror attacks can you remember in the UK? I can remember...
There's been hundreds.
3,
Well,
4,
I'm not going to rhyme off hundreds, but see, because, right, also,
5.
if we want to go into this, right,
No,
so
I'm only asking...
let's start
like,
for 7-7, right?
Right.
And then Lee Rigby, and then there's been multiple after that,
Right.
where the media and the reporting who it is, and people are saying, oh, usual suspects, and then they'll get somebody on going, oh, what cause of colour of your skin? It's nothing to do with that, mate. See, right,
heinous terror attacks are heinous terror attacks.
You heard
Like, do you know what I mean?
terrorism's terrorism.
Like, see, like,
But
what
so,
happened at
let me say this to you, but right, the media are misrepresenting the facts.
They misrepresent all the facts.
No. What I'm trying to say is, when it comes to Islamic extremism on our streets, actual Rudy Cabana, case in point. Oh, he's a Welsh Christian for fucking Cardiff. They posted a photo of him with his wee school blazer when he first came here for I think it was Kenyan or Uganda.
Aye.
It was for somewhere like that. Seen his mugshot, mate. Looked like Charles Manson, mate. But just with a different colour. He looked absolute demonic. And I believe that wee guy, he shouldn't be breathing, right? And they'll report, this is how nobody's trusting the media, nobody's trusting the government, because they're saying, oh, it wasn't a terrorism related, caught with an AQ manual, an Al Qaeda manual, right? It was caught with caught with ricin.
Why would
ricin?
Why would they do it?
Because they don't. Right, I'll give you two answers to that, right?
Because that's where I think.
Right, I'll tell you what I think. There's two reasons I think that, right? One of them you're probably going to laugh at, right? One, I think that Sadiq Khan and Lord Ali have got compromise on Keir Starmer, right? And the other one is, if they report that this was an Islamic terror attack, then because of the state, the culture, the country, you know, you don't know what's going to happen. Look what's happening in Ireland, you know, as well. Know what I mean? They're burning out houses and all that.
Or if they don't report it, right, it stokes up hatred to the media. Because they don't want you, like, see at this stage now, we're in it. So have you ever heard the problem, the reaction, solution? Right, you've heard of that, right? You create the problem, right? Machiavelli talks about it all the time, right? Create a problem, you let the chaos like occur, and then you come up with a solution, right? That's what I think we're
setting a fire in a building,
the problem,
and then coming in going, I'll put it out, and then getting insurance.
The problem is they've let a lot of illegal immigrants in, right? That's the problem. We've had the chaos, we're in the middle of the chaos stage, right? Chaos stage. So the chaos stage is going to get worse and worse until we will do anything for a solution till we get to the extent. A lot of people aren't ready for civil war. A lot of people aren't ready for people running about the streets.
Sean, I'll tell you something. Sean, I'll tell you something, right?
People aren't ready for it.
I'm telling you something now, right? That would be nightmarish to me, right? That would be absolutely nightmarish to me, right?
Hellish.
But I hope that's never going. I pray that's never going to happen, mate.
Same.
We're either going to die or go to jail for the rest of our lives, man.
I don't think they'll need it. I don't think we'll go that far, right? But what I'm saying is, there's a lot of people who know, a lot of kind of commentators have got a lot of power, a lot of pull on both sides, right? They're pulling a lot of people in different directions, right? Now, how do you unite that? You can't, right?
Surely. Well, you're saying about them panels, surely.
It's what I says
we might not be influential enough to fucking change Glasgow or the planet,
but... Say, like,
Start piping up, man.
Just say. I mean, I don't know who's a far left antagoniser than who.
Fuck knows, man.
Try-
I should be able to do that like that. I
I
know, mate, because
There's
I want to
there's
throw a toe over
there's
them,
not as
mate.
many, like the far right, they get it worse in the media. So a far left antagoniser.
That's what I
don't
noticed,
know,
right?
like,
See the distinction between them in the media. They write far right, thug Nazis, and then see when it's somebody for the left, they write at leftist activists. It's always activists.
No, I think any far anything.
The media's a
See when you
problem
say
here.
See when you say far anything, it means
Aye,
you've went too far.
aye.
Like, it means you've went too far on that. That's what it means. Like
You're
far.
off a chart.
Aye. So like you're like, hello.
Aye.
But I think so. This is my question was, right, is extremist Islam, right, has always been a huge problem, right? Always, like they've always been like at war with the West, right? They've always been at war with the West. So there's always going to be Islamic terror attacks, right? Whether it be
Sean, there's another more concerning attack. They know they can't beat us in a battlefield, so what they're doing now is a thing called stealth jihad, where they're grooming people for government positions, right? So say like a mullah or whoever, right, an imam for a madrasa, whatever, they're grooming, like, say, people to go to college, get into politics, and then see when you get into politics and start lobbying, then what?
Who's like Islamic
Muslim
terror?
Brotherhood, Muslim Brotherhood, mate, out of Egypt and all that.
But if you believe what I believe, then you'll know that you can't get into power until you're vetted and you'll not get into a proper power position. Like
Bro, it's happened.
Where
happened in America. Fucking a special forces soldier was groomed by Ayman al-Zawahiri, the second in command to Bin Laden, and he got a job in Fort Bragg, America's special forces fucking army base, and he was photocopying files. The guy's he's vanished off the face of the earth now. He's like in a CIA prison. It's like probably like 3 people on the planet know where he is, mate.
No, I'm not saying it doesn't happen.
That's like one I can say off the top of my head.
What I'm meaning is, like the
She said it can. He's one, mate. I'm telling you now, mate.
You're not going to get. So what I was going to ask you, right, is what's more dangerous, that or extreme Zionism? Because this seems to be.
I don't see it, but
you go way back to like the 20s and the 30s now.
Aye.
People always talked about the Great War is going to be, it will be start between Iran and Israel. That's going to be, and it will start with Palestine. Right, that was always the case, right? Now, I don't know if you know who was involved in the very first start of. So 1913. Let me get this right.
This war goes way before
1913,
that,
right? It was Jacob Rothschild who was the agreed on the Balfour Agreement, right? Jacob Rothschild was that was the Balfour Agreement. So the Balfour. Lord Balfour wrote a letter
I know,
to Jacob Rothschild saying, listen, we are going to, like, hang your Zionist state. We're going to get you. We're going to get you.
But the thing is, if people keep saying Israel stole that land, right? So if you want to use that argument, right? See Jewish people, they were on that land, right? Before Islam even was born. So if we go far back enough and go, but before it was Palestine, it was the Ottoman Empire. Before it was Ottoman Empire, it was this caliphate. It was all these caliphates. So we could just argue. Do you know what I'm talking about?
But we're talking about the new.
Aye. So you're saying is extreme Zion? Well, I don't see extreme Zionist drive. I don't see them. Show me where the terrorist attacks are in Britain.
Epstein's a terror attack to me.
But so the definition of terrorism is violence to achieve a political goal. So what was his political goal?
Maybe no violence, and maybe not. But certainly violence to children, violence to compromise people.
Aye, but that. So what I'm trying to stick to like what's going on in the UK and Europe, right? And what I see is right. There's a lot of. I don't see any Zionists with Israel flags driving through Christmas markets. I don't see them burning churches.
Because they're bigger than that. They're at a different level. I mean, you agree with me?
I agree there's
You agree that
so do you,
Mossad are the best?
Hold on. So what's your definition of Zionism?
Zionism is just a kind of a belief in the Jewish, kind of like the Talmud, and belief that they're the chosen people.
No, it's not.
I'll
The
look it up
definition
now.
of Zionism is the belief that the belief in the state Israel has a right to exist.
No, but it's got a
Talmud and all that's religious.
aye, but
That's the book.
Zionism goes right into religion.
There might be religious aspects it, but that'll be your extreme Zionist. Right?
Zionism is
The belief in the state of Israel.
as the belief in the state. So Zionism is a national movement that emerged in the late 19th century, advocating for establishment of Jewish homeland in Palestine, driven by the desire for Jewish self-determination. It was formalised by Theodore Herzl, first Zionist Congress. So Zionists focus on securing.
So do you think Israel
support,
doesn't have a right to exist, but
cultural, emphasised by thinkers like religious, integrating Jewish faith with the return to the biblical land.
Right. So that's what I said to you
combined
there.
socialism with settlement efforts shaping early Israel society. Do I believe they should be there?
No, I say, do you believe Israel has a right to exist?
Aye. If it was a different government, aye, and if they were willing to do a two-state solution, aye.
Do you know what? They need to see Hamas, right? See Hamas, mate. I know Israel used them. That's how they came about, was to basically play it off Arafat and Black September, all that shit. Just the way the Americans done it with Al Qaeda, mate. This is politics, man. Everybody's gonna stab you in the back at some point, right? But the reason that I'm going on about this is because, mate, there's extremists in everywhere, mate. There's probably extremists in the North fucking pole, right? But me and you are sitting here, and we're white European. See until I look at the global terrorism index or whatever, and I see here 95% Zionism, mate, then I'm going to be sitting here saying the same shit.
No, I agree.
You know what I mean, mate?
I agree. I'm not disagreeing with
you.
you.
I know. We're just debating, bro.
Zionism is like the Jewish terror group, or whatever you want to call it. See Mossad, whatever you want to call it, the dark ops of Mossad, right? Won't go and blow something up in the middle of the street, right? They will compromise.
Just
people.
blow your pager up, mate, when you're
aye. Listen, they're very, very, like, you could even probably say, I mean, looking at them, if you want to look at them for what they are, an intelligence agency, they're very impressive.
I know.
Probably the best in the world.
Russia,
so they're
good,
just doing their job. They're all good, but I'd say Mossad are a different league, right? And I think even looking at, like, the stuff that's going on now, like, I said 4 weeks ago, I said to people, Ghislaine Maxwell's going to get a hanging. Right? Right. She's going to get a hanging, and people were like, shut up. I went, I'm telling you, she's going to get immunity to say Trump's not on that list. Blah, blah, blah.
What? Really? All right.
So she's been given immunity, right, to
testify. Right?
So she's looks as if she could get out. Good chance she's going to get out.
The Yanks, man, you could never do that here.
No, so this is what I'm saying, right? So to me, you need to call it all out, right? See Islamic grooming gangs. Horrible. Get them fucked.
Do you know who the biggest? Do you know? So see the Home Office stats for sexual assaults. Do you know who the biggest Do you know who the biggest group was?
No.
Afghanis. Do you know who the lowest was? British people. Aye, bro. I was like, I better go in here and read a couple of things, because I can't read all that, because I see when you're saying take emotion or it, I almost feel like sometimes I feel emotionless, and then sometimes I'm just like, no, but fuck this, man.
I think, see, like, so we
can't make my mind
most
up,
of the
man.
stuff we can agree on, right?
Aye.
And see if you can agree that, see the last 20 years, man. Honestly, you need to try and get that out of your head. And I know that's virtually impossible,
because I was in the
right?
jail for the past 20 years.
But I'm talking about politically, right?
Right, aye.
It's virtually impossible, right? The last 20 years has just been a mad to fuck you up, like, and put so much misinformation and disinformation out there that you're so confused you don't know where you are, right?
Well,
that's where most people are at now, right? So see, the last 20 years, I know it's so hard and it's near impossible, but you do need to go, right, how we're
That's what
going
I
to
said
move
to you
on
at
for
the
this.
start.
How
I'm
do we
starting to
move on?
concentrate down here because, mate, come in my house, mate, and see all the shit that's lying about, right? And what I mean by that is like the reports for think tanks, books,
Aye.
unis, whatever, right? And I'm like, I need, mate, my brain's hang me as it is, mate. It's almost like there's 5 tellies on in my head,
Aye.
and I'm watching every one of them at the same time, heavy.
I think you
But
should call it. You should call it like.
see any government, right, who's killing anybody who is innocent, right? And I'm not going to go in and go define innocent, not because to me,
Mhm.
we should all know what fucking
Mhm.
innocent means, right? That annoys me when somebody goes, what does innocent mean then, right? Right? But anyway, any government killing anybody who is a non-combatant or an innocent person, you're doing it to anybody who's innocent, who's not involved in that and wants nothing to do with it, then I'm not down for any of that.
Mhm.
But see if you're like, so go Hamas, go Al Qaeda, go fucking the KKK, right? Any one of these
Mhm.
mobs, right? Like, see if I was outside, bro, and there was a fucking white power march, and I saw him like, or say there was like 3 million trying to batter somebody just because of his colour of his skin, mate. I'd back him up. I was see when I was walking up doing that filming yesterday, mate, right? There was a black guy, right, who was stoning me his back to the wall. He was with a white woman, right? I think it might have been his girlfriend. And I walked back, and I always do that because that's like, and that's I think a lot of Muslims do that. It means like they do it instead of shaking your horn.
Mhm.
And what I'm basically saying is, come in
Aye.
peace. But hope you're all right. I could see the guy was a bit nervous, and I felt shite for him.
Mhm.
I was like, and I said that when I was filming. I was like, on the way back, man, imagine being a minority
I know.
in walking through that.
No, it must be
but
hard,
then,
isn't it?
but then when I turned round, there was a he looked Pakistani, Bangladeshi, whatever, and he was on a Just Eat, right? On one of the Just Eat bikes, man, and all you could see was his eyes, and he was pure staring right at me, and I was like, what? Because
Aye.
he looked threatening, mate.
Aye.
You don't need your face like that, bro.
Mhm.
And I'm sitting there, I'm getting back home and going, what if they're all heavy driving? What if they're using that to courier drugs and all that?
Aye.
Like, you need to fucking turn your brain off, man.
No, but listen, I think the whole thing is for me is how do you get rid of how do you unite the people and bring us back to the basics, right? And try and forget about what's happened, because that
Stop
is
listening to politics, mate.
Aye,
Start listening to your
probably,
fucking heart. Start
probably.
listening to your brain.
probably is that you need to
Educate yourself
you
a
need
bit.
to stop engaging, right? Which is hard because that's all you're getting told in news, how to engage, and it's all that you're like you get fed. Do you know what I mean? So
Aye.
I
The
think
media, they
what
see the
you're
internet,
watching
mate, it's
is
a double-edged sword, bro.
it's I mean,
Because see all the info, it's overloading
I go
everybody,
on
mate.
Twitter and I wind people up all the time. You know what I mean? Like,
That's the half here, mate.
I'm on Twitter and I will call people. I just like people like they'll just say it how it is, and I'll always ask Grok. I always want because Grok's funny. I'll just say, Grok, how much did Netanyahu give fucking Hamas? No, I see like people, but people don't answer you back anyway. They just look at it.
Aye.
But I think anybody that knew that is knowingly dividing us, right? And their head, because you know when you're dividing people. You know when you're dividing people, right?
100%.
So see if you're knowingly you've got a massive following and you're using that following to divide the working class, you're no on my team the new, because I think the new what we need everybody to go to Glasgow Green that believes they're working class and believes that they need their kids and their grandchildren should be getting a better future.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Aye.
Don't bring flags. Don't bring anything. Don't bring any of that shit. Just bring your working class self and bring your children and bring like if you think we're getting fucked up. See billionaires. I've got honestly like I was looking this up.
Your favourite.
I swear to God, right? I know I fucking despise the Billionaire Boys Club, but
till you're in it.
I know.
I'm only kidding.
Do you know? I swear on my 2 kids' life, right?
I know.
I swear on my 2 kids' life.
I know, man.
I genuinely
Spread the wealth,
wouldn't
innit?
be. I don't think I would be. I don't think I'd be. See, as a millionaire.
Content.
See if I had 5, 10,
How do you
6
need
million.
billions, but
See, see if I had like 5, 6 million pound in the bank.
aye.
I would love that. Like I think that would be hanging right. Now this is where I say with moderate socialism. I think see if you're good at something, you work hard and you're hanging. I don't say you shouldn't have a great life.
Right.
You should have a luxurious life, but you shouldn't be able to have
Aye,
£1 trillion in the bank.
The fucking the
when
GDP of fucking
when I'm watching like
Burkina Faso or something.
Aye, when I'm watching Wayne's fucking
dying and starving
in my streets in a country that's so fucking
wealthy.
like wealthy. I'm watching Wayne's like with nothing, and you've got £1 trillion. Fuck off! You're not my pal. You never will be. You're not on the same level as me. You don't think the way I think. And you're part of a club that's trying to divide all us. Because you know if we come together,
make another trillion off us.
If we all come together, you're fucked. And you know it. So that's why I think you need to disassociate yourself. I know it's really hard, and I know how hard it is because I fall into the trap all the time on Twitter and write shit that's fucking blah blah blah. And but what I'm saying is, I don't know. We genuinely need to come together.
100%.
And I don't know how. I don't know I don't know. Like obviously we've got half an hour left, right? And I've really enjoyed this conversation.
I'm quite surprised at how it's went.
I think
because I was nervous, mate. I was nervous going up to that rally yesterday because my pal, wee Batman, didn't he? He's like, you should go up there and film that. No, I'm like, fuck that. Like, no, mate. I didn't want to do it. Then I woke up that morning and I was like, nah, I can't bastard with this. No, I'm all because
he's a good boy.
Good boy, mate. Good boy.
Man of the best, actually.
Shout out.
Honestly, I used to get some laughs from him. Like, see, me and him.
Half he's not into. But I think
I remember we watched me and him watched what was it? We watched that Old School, right? Remember Old School, like Will Ferrell and that.
Right.
I swear to God.
What an ad,
the two were just pure killing us. There's a bit. I know this is way I think.
That's all right, bro. Need a bit of humour now, man. Less politics, innit?
He shoots his cell in the neck with a tranquilizer gun. You never seen that?
Is there any left?
No, I know.
I'm only kidding.
But there's me and him, I swear to God, so and the cunts were coming in going like that. What are you laughing? No, like me and him were together. We were just like two Waynes, know what I mean? Like that, right?
But, some boy, man.
But no, right. So back to the fucking horrible billionaires, right? So see, like if I was to write in like the top 1,000, right? How much money, right? What's your guess? Because I was doing this the other day.
Honestly, right? I'm not going to lie. I don't know really. I don't look that much into it. I know there's a couple of billionaires out there, but I don't Google how much they're worth and all that.
See, I put in here, right? How much does the top 1,000 people own, right? So it says the top 1% of the global population, about 56 million people own 40, blah, blah, blah. It says, narrowing down to the top 1,000 individuals, Forbes, so it would come to a combined amount of 14.2 trillion.
What?
Right? No, see, to put that into, like, because this is
so that's that's split between the
1,000 people, right? So 14.2 trillion, that's an insane amount of money, right? And just to put this into perspective, right? I want to do this, right?
Go.
How many seconds do you think is 1 million seconds? How many days?
Don't know.
Right. I know that one, right? So it's 13 days, right?
Is 1 million seconds.
Is 1 million seconds, right? Because this puts into perspective about 1 billion and a million. Because sometimes you don't get it.
Aye.
How long do you think 1 billion seconds is?
Well, times that by what's 1 billion? 100,000 million.
1 billion's 1,000 millions. Aye.
Right. So hit us with
31 year.
What?
Right. So that's the difference between 1 million and 1 billion, right?
What?
So 14.1 trillion, right? I'll just do it, right? Just to show the difference in what, like,
because when you put it like that,
it allows your head to go
2 weeks to 30 stretch.
Aye, it allows your head to see the difference in that. Because some people talk about millionaires, billionaires, and it's like
it's just
as if it's the same thing. It's no.
Snake I don't want to say. I was going to say there's no currency.
I'm not saying that you shouldn't be allowed to. So 14.1. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be allowed to have a good life. Of course you should. If you even to the extent like But I think if there's a minimum wage, you should maybe have a maximum wage. Do you know what I mean? Imagine what you could do if you allowed everybody. Now, I know that you would need to work with inflation and there would be things you would need to do, but we could fix it. We could all fix it. There's clever people out there. We could fix it. So if you imagine you had like a maximum wage of £100 million. See if you can't live off £100 million or something wrong with you, right? If you can't live off £100 million, then and the rest of it, the rest of that money that you make is going to go into building up society, building up poorer communities, building up roads, building up infrastructure. Maybe at the weekend you get free gyms, you get free thingies, like get people fit, get people healthy, get fit, get your way in sort of free swimming classes, free kids clubs and all that. This is what you could have, right? But they don't want you to know that. They don't want you to know what you could have. They want you to have this shit
on
that they've got, you know, and all divided about it, and looking at them to fucking sort it. Look, like, what? Like,
no, since you say it like that, mate, it does make a bit more kind of sense, because obviously, mate, I just turn on the telly and see a couple of politicians go fucking wanker and turn the telly on, mate. But when you start when you start talking about it like that, mate, it makes me kind of, mate, sometimes I think I'm scared for my kids' future as well.
Aye,
what I mean?
So 14.1 million trillion equates to roughly 38,630 years.
Fucking hell, man.
So that's what 1,000 people own. So when you put it into that kind of
and there's what, 7 billion, is it 6 or 7 billion people on the planet?
Aye.
And 1,000 of them own that amount of money.
Aye. Oh, that's more than like that's more than most a lot of countries' GDPs.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? So and their 1,000 people all know each other. Like they're all doing business together, and they've got hedge funds, and they've got this. And if you take in what they reckon there's trillionaires, and that, so you don't see the Arab countries, you don't know how much they own. They're very hard to know how much they own, right?
Is it Hawala banks they use?
The sheikhs and all that, it's very hard to know what they own, right? But they reckon some of them are trillionaires.
They will be, mate.
Right, so see, like...
Let me ask you this, right? This is a bit of a weird one for you. So that rally yesterday, I was talking to one of the security guards who was standing outside the hotel. Big Toby, his name was. Shout out if you're watching, mate. He was from Nigeria, I think. And I says to him, I says, we're talking about countries, right? And I says, here, see the Democratic, they've got a cheat calling it that, Democratic Republic of Congo. Do you know they're one of the, do you know what tungsten is?
No, I've heard it.
It's in every mobile phone, laptop, tablet in the planet, right? So
it's an element. Aye.
So if they're basically like the Saudis of the tungsten market, how are they no booming?
Because it'll be all the Arabs and all that that own it. That'll be like
no, it'll be all us. Probably Britain and America.
Aye.
Definitely. Like here, just keep them washed down me now, man. Get 8 child soldiers down there to dig for that shit.
Because you go into
these
countries and you buy
£7 a week.
Aye. But you buy the government. The government.
Right. So do you know how our government's getting bought off for these lobbyists and all?
Aye, definitely.
It's no governing. It's organised crime.
That's what I'm saying. So
kickback city, mate.
So we're talking. So now we're talking on the same page, right? That's what I mean. So it doesn't matter where you come on this channel. And we've had some great discussions, right? But you come on today and you said, I see myself as a wee bit kind of on the right, maybe moderate, like central right.
I think it would. You would need to.
I would say you're the same as me. I would say
you're probably somebody there saying I'm far right. Somebody saying I'm. There's people out there don't even know what far right is.
I would say you're the same as me, but
I
think you're a moderate socialist.
I would say I'm just kind of in the middle somewhere, and show me the situation, I'll tell you what I think.
So see,
if it's far right, far left, middle, centre, fucking round the corner, mate, know what I mean? I'll just tell you, that's what it is. It's my opinion.
So see, I've always said this, right, and I put this on a post, right, and I was like, so see, if you look at, this is what moderate socialism is, right? Moderate socialism is a political and economic ideology that advocates for a mixed economy combining elements of socialism, such as public ownership or regulation of key industries. So that would be like your jails and all that stuff.
Private jails.
I know, I hate them, man.
They're good fun, but
I know.
For jails, as far as jails goes, but we'll not go there.
Such as public ownership or regulation of key industries, wealth distribution and social welfare programs with aspects of capitalism like private enterprises and market mechanisms, seeks to address inequality and provide social safety nets without fully dismantling private property or free markets,
Aye.
distinguishing it from radical forms of socialism that push for complete state control of economy. Right, so that's
Right,
what I
right,
believe in.
right. So
Right,
so when you were saying that to me before, I thought that was basically you were basically a communist, and I'm sitting thinking, mate, you're off your head, man.
aye, no, and I get, but that
And then I
I
went and
think,
read what it meant. I was like, fuck.
but I think a lot of people think that. Do you know what I mean? And
Aye.
I'm always just for the working class, right? And
Mm-hmm.
all I see the new, and it's hard for me to watch. For me, I love the working class people, and I love being working class.
But see what
But
you're saying
we've
a
got the
minute
power,
ago. See,
right?
exactly. But see, you said a minute ago like you would be happy with 100 million or whatever it was. Like you wouldn't be working class then. So would you be putting people on a stipend or what? Well, would you be like? Because I always think like that, mate. See, money means nothing to me, mate. Like I've never had it, but obviously, see, like the most amount of money I've ever had at one time was say like 6-7 grand, right? So that's not a lot of money, but it is a lot of money to me, right? But what I'm trying to say is, see if I was sitting with like 100 million,
Hmm.
like to me that would go to, I would need to put that into something.
But if you had a
I'm
hundred
not saying like
million
sit with 100 million, just
and then it was capped
spend
at
it and
100
shite.
million, if it was capped, then
No, but what I mean is, we wouldn't be working class then. So who would what would we be? We'd be multi-millionaires.
but
So then what I'm saying
I
is,
think you should be allowed to be a multi-millionaire if
aye,
you do something if you do
would you
something
go and
good.
but would you go and like fucking open a fucking soup kitchen or?
But what I'm saying is, see if you're a multi-millionaire. That's what I'm
Mhm,
saying. A
mhm.
multi-millionaire is so different from a billionaire,
Aye, aye, I know
right?
that.
So different, right?
Aye,
It's
I
like
know
no,
that.
it's not even the same. So see a guy
Aye.
who, for the scheme, who's a scaffolder or a, a,
No, but
a
what I mean
brickie,
is, if
and
you
he's
were a
built a company
multi-millionaire
or
like
a
that, would you
lawyer.
go and would you dish out a few square ups and
Aye,
that? Aye,
I would.
fucking
Well,
right,
I'd
you
like
would.
to think I would.
I'd put up. No, I'd be putting a few people in their
So
feet,
see,
mate.
I've just written here, right, Grok, why are the elites scared of this, right? And this is what it says. The fear of moderate socialism among elites, defined here as wealthy individuals, corporate leaders and influential policymakers, stems from its potential to disrupt their economic and political power. Moderate socialism, with its emphasis on wealth redistribution, stronger welfare systems and regulation of private industries, threatens the status quo that benefits concentrated wealth. Below, I will outline the elites' fear of moderate socialism grounded in its principles and real-world implications, while addressing the context of your earlier question: wealth concentration and UK benefit spending. So I wrote in how much do we spend on benefits, right?
hmm
And it's something like, I can't remember, right? I'll not go into it the new, right? But I will look it
I'm
up,
sure the
right?
GDP. This is one thing I want to kind of bring up to you, know, right? So see people going about benefits is fucking the country, not here. See after the 2008 crash, right? What did you see on the telly? Benefits Britain, benefits this and that, right?
That's
Do you know
again, he gets all
benefits? See the
hating benefits.
GDP, right? See the GDP for benefits. It was like less than 1%. Do you
Aye.
know how much corporate fraud was?
No, that's what
Aye.
I was exactly what I was going to go
White
into.
collar crime. Do you know
Aye,
how much
no,
that was costing? Tax avoidance, not skyrocket, mate. It was
10,
no,
10%.
no, it was laughable. It was like 30 or something. It was
Wow.
mental, mate.
See, this is what
And
I was
then
going
it's
to
like, but
say.
all you see on the telly was, I've got 6 wains and I'm on benefits. And I'm going, you're oversaturating the media with the most vulnerable people out there and try to take away from the fact that the elites caused that crash
Definitely,
with fucking predatory mortgage lendings and
definitely.
all that and giving
But
people
it's all
loans that
made.
they couldn't
It's
pay.
all made up because what happened with that was I think these things are
So now,
manufactured.
read
Like,
that shock doctrine, mate. Read
so I
that,
see.
mate.
I've been
I've read that
honestly.
about three
No, I
times,
know.
bro. It's
It
all
looks.
fucking
I
stickered and
know. I
everything,
know.
mate.
No, it looks.
Brilliant book, man.
I know. I've heard it's good. Who is that? Naomi Klein? Is that Naomi Klein? Aye.
Aye.
I know. I like Naomi Klein. So I've got a
Mhm.
follower on Twitter. But
Mhm.
I think, see, well, that's see, and I always go back to Machiavelli because I think he is the best that
Mhm.
I've read that about
Aye.
manipulating
Aye. Aye.
society,
Aye.
and he'll tell you you can't let the working class come together because if they
Mhm.
come together, they
Aye.
start realizing
Yeah. Hold
why
on.
we live in
Aye.
this. We shouldn't be.
We're taking now. So
Aye,
do you know? Do you know what I think we live in? An oligarchy masquerading as a democracy. Because
definitely.
see, so if you want to look up the definition of oligarchy, what does it say? It says it will say like a small
A
group of
small group of
people
people
with
who
a high
with
concentration of wealth, right,
that are kind
and
of aye,
power, right.
aye,
So we live in a democracy where they say it's the people, power to people, all this bullshit, right. But then see, as soon as you vote and get that whoever it is that got into power, right? What ends up happening is it's all about them now. It's the
Aye.
oligarchy. It's this group. Everybody thinks it's like it's a Russian thing. It's not a fucking Russian
No,
thing.
it's we're in it's an
We,
actually we're in an oligarchy.
right? Because you've got whoever's the prime minister, whoever's the chancellor, exchequer, but that's centralised to our country, right?
Aye.
I only want to kind of go on about that and let the know because
Aye.
obviously if, then you've got the macro oligarchy, but will be
Aye.
your WEF and fucking leader
Aye.
of the fucking EU banking
Aye.
system and all that shit. So it's just run by oligarchies, mate. Right?
Yep.
That's what we're run by, and it's a wolf in sheep's clothing. See all this democracy shit. Aye, what we get to vote, but it's what was it Stalin? It said it's no. It's no who votes it counts. It's who counts it votes.
And
You know what I'm talking about?
Rockefeller said a way back when they were kind of like putting this plan together. He's like, look, I don't want a nation of thinkers. I want a nation of workers.
Aye,
And that's what he's got. Because then what you do is it's like mob mentality, and it's a shame. Like you watch it with both sides, mob mentality. But what the thing is, we need to get by. We need to get past, or we're getting fucked. Honestly, and I mean it. Like we need to do it quite quickly because we're in a stage where it's moving fast. Like it's moving really fast, and the thing is how do you come together? How do you get people to go put their bits aside and go? Do you know what? I know you like Palestine and I like Israel, but that we're going to try and work on.
We're looking that way while they're stealing your fucking telly at your house.
The new we can fix Palestine. We can fix all this when we get together.
Get your own house in order before you
come together.
criticise the world. Jordan Peterson said, done it.
I think you can look and you can call out these people. You can do these things, but if you want to come together, then you need to do it on a separate level. That needs to be
100%,
separate.
100%.
You need to be separated from
the bullshit that they're trying to divide us with.
So if you want to go and follow Tommy Robinson, go and do it. Go and follow him. Go and fucking go and chant him and think he's. But you also need to separate that from
what's going on.
Being working class and getting fucked off billionaires. It's two different things to me. Like if you think that like Israel and Tommy Robinson and what he's saying like about Islam and that is right, then that's fine. If you think that like what somebody else like Tommy Sheridan is saying about like Palestine and this and that, then that's fine. Go with that. But you need to separate it at some point and go.
But
let's come together on a smaller macro foundational level where we don't even look at that because that is going to separate you as soon as we get to Glasgow Green and I go fucking Palestine. Somebody's going to go what? But that's as what you said. How can Northern Ireland come together? I'll tell you why.
Loyalists and Republicans,
and I'll tell you why they can come together.
Because
they're used to it. They're used to civil war, right? They're used to wars on the street. They're used to going out and doing it. So it's no. They're going back to something they know. So they've quickly went.
Give them big shout out to them,
massive
mate.
Shout out
to every one of them, mate.
So you go like that. They've went. We need to come together here. We'll know that. So we need to come together for it.
Do you know what? See, when I seen that, mate, I'm actually not going to lie. The kind of hair, well, I know I've no hair, right, but hair's in the back of my neck stood up, mate.
No,
I was like, fucking on ye's go, man.
Like we need to come together, and anybody that wants to divide us and all that, then.
And I want to say this and all coming together. I don't mean going and fucking burning down hotels and all that shit.
No,
because see that's not going to get you anywhere. That's what I always say, right? I say this to people all the time. You need to start piping up because I don't know how many people like. There was a guy in my karate class, right, and he says to me, "See, 2 years ago, he says, see some of the shit you post. He says, I thought you were nuts. He says, see now. He says it's happening, and but there's so many people scared to speak up because they'll lose their job. Do you know what I mean? So you're stuck. You're basically fucking. What did people do, mate? Like see, like you imagine, like me and you sitting here doing this and then tomorrow you get a phone call here. You get the fuck.
Do you know? This is the thing, right? It's like we talk about money and
I always
money,
say it's
money,
not what you
like,
say, it's how you say it.
definitely, and I think so. I was looking up another thing the other day, right? This is a question for you that I could like. So see since 2020,
Mm-hmm.
how much money do you think America have lost that they can't account for? You wouldn't believe it. You would not believe this.
Like the fucking 12 billion it went missing in Iraqi aid
Aye,
during the war, I
aye,
know.
and
Aye, nobody knows where that
aye,
went.
and the
That's in that shock
aye.
doctrine.
So much do you honestly, it's insane.
Fuck knows,
20
mate.
trillion, right?
What?
So they can't account
How
for
can you
20
not account
trillion.
for 20 trillion pounds?
I don't know, right?
It's not as if it fell down the back of a fucking couch.
20 trillion pound, right? And I know America's a big country and blah blah, but surely you've got like 20 trillion pound could probably like.
Do you know where that's went?
I kind of probably do think I know where
Well-
it's went. It's went into a lot of black ops and stuff that to do what they're doing
Black
now,
budget, mate.
like this stuff that's happening now. That's what it's
NSA
went.
budget's not that. Because you
Aye.
know you can't even look at their budget.
No, that's
Their budget's held in their shit's held in secret. Ori mobs are held
and
in
it's
secret.
also to
mate.
build up people like I don't like I'm
Me and
trying
you.
Elon Musk, take for example,
Aye.
right? You look at his money, he's really embedded in with Saudis. He was embedded.
he?
Right.
Right.
Well, a lot of his money comes from Saudi, and he's embedded in with a lot.
I never know who he was till he bought Twitter, mate.
This is I think again you probably prop these people up. It looks as if Jeffrey Epstein never had a dime. This is what's coming out now, as if like he never had a dime.
Oh, right.
It was all kind of. It was all. It was an like.
It was a cut-out.
Kind of cut. It was an agent. It was
Aye.
just like using Moss, but he was able to live the lifestyle
Aye,
of a billionaire.
aye.
But I don't think he had
that
that type of
penny.
money. Do you know what I mean? But I think see if you're like for me, this is I'm on Twitter, right, and I see a lot of people calling out the rape gangs and stuff like that, quite rightly so,
Aye.
right? But then you go, what about Jeffrey Epstein? And they go, how? But they try and like back him up, and you're like,
Really?
honestly, mate, I swear to God,
Well-
like Americans are terrible for it, right? And you go, mate, it's this fucking same thing. Like it's abusing children. Children are sacred. Fucking anybody
Aye,
that does
100%,
anybody that does it to
100%,
children,
Sean.
anybody that does it to children shouldn't be given any like.
But see, the thing is with the Epstein, the only kind of thing I would point out with this is Epstein wasn't. This has got to sound that I'm trying to choose my words carefully here. Epstein was embedded in high society, right?
Aye,
So he had a lot more camouflage, a lot more manoeuvre, clout, whatever, right? I believe that the grooming gangs were just another strand of the jihad, mate, because one of them actually said to the victim, we're here to, we're taking you for Allah and all that, see all this shit, right? And people can say what they want to me about it, and I do believe now that there's been, so if you've noticed down in the English prison system, there has been attacks on staff in the Cat A jails. I believe that's coordinated with the extremist gangs down there, mate, 100%.
so I seen
One
Tommy
of them was,
Robinson. I seen Tommy
Hashim
Robinson.
Abedi, the
I seen Tommy
Libyan.
Robinson posting about it, right? And I seen him posting. Hang on, it was
Posting about what?
Liam Tufts, right, saying that he's going to do a tell-all book about his prison experience, right, and about how they tell the truth about what's happening in the UK prisons, right?
No. Let's separate Scottish prisons for their prisons.
But
Their
even at
prisons
that,
aren't
right,
like that.
Do you honestly think, like, I'm only asking, I'll
Aye,
ask
but
you this
just ask us,
question, right?
bro.
Do you think anybody, if they've not been in mainstream prison, if they've not been in the mainstream halls, and they've not been up the halls and all that, could write a book about what's going on in the prison system? No,
Well,
I'm not
let me ask
talking
you
about
this.
taking facts and all that.
No, but let me ask you this, right? You've done time, I've done time, right?
Mhm.
Whether you done it in the digger, your whole sentence in the digger or no, you still get your ear, out of the street, still get your ear out the window, haven't you? Mate, come on, how many things did you find out in jail after somebody that you had nothing to do with, right? So say I went and nipped somebody, right? MD watching nipping somebody means going and slashing them or stabbing them or throwing water or whatever, right? So say I went and done that in the hall and you were doing a digger, you try to tell me you wouldn't find out about that?
But what I'm saying is, if you went into Berlin, right, and you went to the Wendy House, you spent 8 months in the Wendy House, you came back out.
Aye, what am I writing about?
Do you think you could write about the full prison, like the prison, like what?
Well, it would be interesting to see what you've got to say
Oh,
if you were
could
fucking
write
locked
about
in
the
a
bigger,
toilet
like,
all day, man. Know what I mean?
Like you could genuinely.
Aye, do you get what I'm
But
saying?
I
It
don't
would
think
be.
you can. Well, it's not my take. Like, I don't think you don't know what's going on
Mate,
in
do
the
you know,
house.
I never even, mate, see Tommy Robinson, mate, I never even looked at one thing he said
Aye.
until I get pulled up for that social media post. It made me want to go and hear what he had to say.
Listen, he's a good talker. A lot of the things he says is right. Like, there's a lot of things he calls out the media. He calls out a lot of people. I just don't understand why he doesn't call out
Everything else.
everything else. He won't call out other things. He sticks to Islam, which is fine. That might be his gig. That might be his thing. I'm like, I don't like Islam. I mean, his name's Stephen Lennon Yaxley.
Aye.
He's a Jew. Do you know what I mean?
Is he?
So, well, sounds Jewish to me.
How
I
was
don't
it?
know.
Lenin?
Stephen Lennon Yaxley.
Yaxley? I honestly,
Maybe
that went right.
maybe no. Like, I'm sure he's
There we go.
I'm sure he's Jewish, mate.
That
Or
went
he's,
over my
he's
head,
definitely
bro.
a Zionist.
But,
He's definitely he's admitted that. I've seen him talking, saying he's a Zionist.
Mate, I believe that they've got a right to exist, but I don't believe any countries get the right to wipe them out unless they're trying to do shit to you. It's the same in the scheme, mate. If you, mate, it's like trickle down. It's like, I'm staying the scheme, I've no money to move, and you've got an issue with me, and I think you're going to do me, or you try and do me. What am I going to do? Me, I'm going to run, or I'm going to attack you.
No,
Do you know what I mean?
So it says here, Stephen Yaxley Lennon,
Right.
known as Tommy Robinson, has publicly expressed support for Israel and identified
No,
himself as a Zionist.
Google the Yaxley bit. That's a pure weird second name.
Yeah, I think I don't know, like, his name's Stephen.
Can you not Google the, like, the
I'll
heritage of Yaxley?
I'll
No.
Google it. For example, it basically says, for example, here says an ex post says, considering itself, I stand with Israel, framing it as a battle of good or evil, blah blah. No, I've seen him saying he is a Zionist. Like, he does hang himself as a Zionist. I'll see what it says where Yaxley's for. But I mean, I don't know the guy. I mean, and this is what I'm saying. It's like the whole thing is I think he's a divisive character.
Right.
That's the only problem with me
Right.
with him. Like, I think he divides. Like, there's a lot of people, like, because he's such a good speaker, he's very articulate, and he's got a lot of good messages within his framework. I don't align with him at all, right? But what I'm saying is, I can listen to him, and I know I can see that he's singing, so I can see why people are attracted to that.
A lot of the things that he does say about, and I don't want to say Islam like it's a blanket statement about their loyalties to the religion, their loyalties not to this state, right? There'll be people here who are just want to get on with their jobs, want to do this, want to do that, right? That's totally fine, assimilating and all that. But see, I'll give you an example. There was a rally no far from here, no long ago, and I seen the video of it. Know who was in the front of the right? So know what the rally was about. They want a law, right, and a blasphemy law in this country, right? No saying they're going to get it,
Aye.
but know who was standing right at the front of the crowd?
Who?
My local shopkeeper, mate.
Aye.
The guy who owns my local shop, he owns it, and I was fuming, mate, and I was like, you want a so basically you want a law, they want a law in this country, no every Muslim, right?
Aye.
But they want a law saying criticism of Islam is basically punishable by they're not going to get punishable by death, but they will kill you if they don't knock them, mate. They'll do you. They'll give you.
No,
know what I mean?
I think, listen.
But there has to be a healthy criticism. You can't just come and say, like, they can criticise me for Christianity or whatever. Don't really consider myself religious, but I've got a relationship with God to some extent, mate. I believe in God, and I believe that.
No, I'm the same.
Do you know what I'm talking
spiritual,
about?
Mate. I'm
Aye, right,
spiritual,
exactly, bro,
I
exactly,
believe
right. It doesn't mean I'm out trying to ram it down your throat. No, see my wee boy, listen to this, right? My wee boy went to school and came home with homework about Islam, right? And it was all, right, the Prophet was born in this time and all that, right? And I looked at it and I says, how's that the first time you brought homework came about religion? They done that. I don't know. And I says, did he do it about Buddha, Jesus, MD? No. So I says, you're not doing that homework. Tell the teacher to phone me. So he went into class and my son said, my dad says I've not to do the homework unless you teach me about other stuff. And what she says, this is a police matter, I'm going to phone the police. And I went, when I say I went ballistic, I wasn't actually going ballistic, but what I meant was in my head I'm going ballistic. So I'm phoning. So the school phoned me, right? And I was talking to one of the wasn't the teacher who said that to my son, it was another teacher. And she's got a PhD in Islamophobia, right? My kind of person. And started talking away to her, bro, right? And I says, I probably know more about Islam than her. I says, why you just going, oh, this was this and this was that? I says, why you not talking about the other side? Like what the subjugation of women, the slavery and the beheadings, and like, I don't mean beheadings like, oh, you're American and all. I mean the punishments dished out, the other side of it, what you just said. So you're going to call that out, right? So don't be trying to do you know what I mean?
Why do you think we accept
and you know what she says
Dubai
to me?
and all that? Why do you think we accept Dubai and not money? Exactly.
And because they've opened their doors to the West. Like you can go, like you couldn't go to Saudi. Well, you probably could go to Saudi on holiday now, but you wouldn't be walking about with your you wouldn't because they believe Saudi Arabia is holy land. You imagine the Pope came out, right? You know you can't set foot in Mecca or Medina.
I know.
Do you know why?
I know.
Because you're a non-believer.
I know.
Right? So imagine the Pope came out and says, any non-Christian cannot set foot in Rome. What would we say? Who would you say? Here, you're a racist bastard.
No, definitely.
Do you know what I mean? No, so it's we need to kind of.
The extremist thing is, but listen, we're coming up to the end, right?
Sorry, bro.
Listen, what we'll do is we will follow this up with a panel. Hopefully, we'll get some people on. That are maybe politically minded. We can get a debate with. No, but it's about. It's about debate. Like last message for people, right? Last message I'm going to say is just say, please think about things as a division tactic. Think about it and just look to see if you think it's a division tactic. If you think it isn't, go with it. I'm not telling you what to do. All I'm saying to the working class and the lower class, start looking at these people that run, and they would remember they wouldn't have that life. Billionaires and trillionaires wouldn't have their life without the working class. They need the working class to do all their dirty work at the bottom so that they can have their life at the top. So see, if you want that life, you should be a kind of responsible. If you've got £500 billion, you should be a wee bit responsible with that money. That's all I'd say. I think you should have some empathy for the impoverished people in your own country. That's only my views, right? So I think the billionaires are the problem, and I always will say that. I'm working class through and through, and that's my thing, is the billionaires are fucking us, and that's it.
Aye.
That's my message. What's yours?
Stay out of trouble. No, just people need to, right, I'll give you my message, right? So everything you said there, totally get it, nothing against it, but I don't believe we can fix that until we can fix what's going on down here. Do you get what I'm saying? And I want to put it across that anybody I feel should be welcome to come here to assimilate, to live a good life, but come the right way. Enjoy your life. Scotland's one of the most welcoming countries out. Aye, we've got arseholes, not I mean, so is every country, but just don't think before you act. Think before you speak. And sometimes I'm guilty of hitting out with daft shit. Know what I mean? You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like, I'm a person, I worry about my son's future. I'm his first and last line of defence, mate. And I'll tell you one thing right now. I don't want to die. I'm scared to die. I think I will. I think I would be. but one hill I will die on, mate, is for my son and somebody else's child. If I think that there's some heavy, because this is bigger than me, this is bigger than you. I think anybody who's not willing to die for children is just no business even fucking breathing the Lord's air, mate, know what I mean? But other than
I
that,
agree.
hope I've not been hitting out with any fucking hot
No,
statements
it's
in your
listen,
channels on, know what I mean?
No, listen, it's been a healthy debate, and it's been what kind of.
I've actually surprised myself, mate. I've actually I've had a wee bit of, I've took a couple of things with it, mate. Do you know what I
Aye.
mean? I was
Same.
surprised, mate. I thought I was going
Same.
to blow out or what, man.
No.
Maybe shot myself in the foot there, man.
No, listen,
Walking
thanks
out
for
like, you
coming
better
on.
delete it.
And anybody that doesn't follow Tin Pail TV, please get a watch.
Aye.
It's a great channel.
Cheers, bro. Aye, trying, mate.
Thanks for coming on. I'm
Aye.
sure you'll be on again, bro.
Cheers, bro.
Right.